Okay, welcome back to this video covering paper 23, which is the final paper from the recent May-June 2025 IGCSE and O-level syllabus. As always, with all these videos, of course, if the video is too slow, then you can watch it at 1.5 or 2 times the speed. And as well as watching this video, I will also recommend checking the mark scheme, just so you can see the full list of acceptable answers. Okay, so question one, quite a difficult one to start, right? Flowchart. So this flowchart shows an algorithm used for quality control on a biscuit production line. The weight of each biscuit is entered into the variable weight if the weight of the biscuit is between 16.2 and 17.2 grams inclusive. Then the pass counter is incremented by 1. Otherwise, the reject counter is incremented by 1. The process continues until -1 is entered, after which the totals for pass and reject are output. Right, so we just want to complete this flowchart. Right, so first of all, they've assigned or initialized 0 into the pass count, of course, likewise 0 for the reject count. Alright, so so I think first what we want to do, we just want to input the weight, and I guess probably we actually want to make a plan before we start writing. Because otherwise we might write something in the wrong box and then it's going to be difficult to adjust. Right, so I think probably this first one is going to be the weight, just inputting the weight. So this second one, this decision, this sort of decision right here, this is actually a bit confusing, because you might be thinking, well, this is going to be the check, where we're checking between 16.2 and 17.2 grams. However, if you actually look at the yes, right, so look at this yes condition here, right, then we see, well, here there's just going to be 2 outputs after this. Alright, so this is actually going to be when it terminates, because of course we're going to have the outputs here, right, then of course it's going to the stop. So actually what this first check will be, this will be the check to see if the weight is equal to -1. Alright, so then if we look at this decision here, well, this is going to be the decision that's checking, whether it's a valid weight, just that simple range check. Right, and I guess if it's no, well, then we see the reject counter is going to increase. Of course, yes, if it is a valid weight, well, then what the pass counter is going to increment. Alright, and then I guess here for these 2 outputs, of course, well, that's just output in the pass and reject counter. So I think that plan seems to make sense. So then we can just go ahead and just write all of these. Right, so the first one then, that's going to be input weight. And I guess if you want, you could also give like a message, please input the weight. But I think here just going to input weight is going to be fine. Right, the first check, so we're checking, I guess, what is weight equal to -1. Alright, because here we see the yes condition, so this is when it stops. So let's go, is weight equal to -1? Right, then if we go no, and let's look at the no condition and of course, well, the yes condition. Now actually both of these go to process, and I guess, of course, well, both of these also going to loop back, up here. Alright, so actually we can either have the condition where we're checking, the kind of valid range check, or we can check, if it's outside the range. But I think let's just go valid, so let's go is, and we want to check what, yes, it is the weight. That's going to be, is it what, greater than or equal to? I think it was inclusive. Right here it says inclusive, right, therefore greater than or equal to and less than or equal to. Right, so is weight greater than or equal to 16.2? Right, let's go and weight, that's going to be what, less than or equal to 17.2. Right, if it is, well, then we're going to increment the pass count. So in order to do that, well, either we can just say increment, alright, so I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to show both ways of doing it. Right, so the first one, I guess we could just go increment like this. And then I think the variable, is it just called pass count? Pass count. Right, so let's go increment pass count. And then, so here then for the reject, well, then we can just use set. This is like an equivalent way of doing it. And of course the difference is that when we increment, well, of course we can only increment by 1. However, if we want to, increment by 5, well, then we would have to use set. If we just want to, add some other value, or minus, multiply, right, do some other operation. So here then what's going to be reject. Set reject count. And then I guess, this is also going to increment, right, so it's going to be 2. And then, reject count plus 1. Of course that's using up a lot of space, although if you're in the real exam, writing with a sort of normal pen, you should hopefully have space for that. Alright, and then yeah, I think the final one's, well, that's just output. So let's go output and, well, of course, pass count. And then yeah, the final one, right, that's just going to be output. And then the reject count. Yeah, okay, so I think hopefully it's not too difficult if you think about it. Although actually, you know, for a starting question, that's actually a difficult question to start with. Right then, B, we want to explain how you'd alter the flowchart, well, in 1A, so that it calculates and outputs the average weight only if the biscuits that have passed the weight check, or yeah, well, of only the biscuits that have passed the weight check. Right, you may include program statements or flowchart symbols in your answer, but they must be fully explained. Right, okay, so I guess what we need then is we need a valid count. So we would say we would have to, yeah, okay, right, so we would have to assign or initialize some valid count variable with a value of 0. And then, yeah, right, okay, yeah, and then I guess we would say, when we sort of go to this yes condition here, well, yeah, okay, right, so then we would need another, I guess, yeah, another process statement. Of course, here we would just go, what, increment, yeah, I don't know, like increment the sort of valid count or something. Right, and then I guess at the end, well, then we would just need another output statement here. Of course, what that would output, yeah, hang on, so what is it we want to do? It's the weight. Right, okay, yeah, so I guess then we also need to average the weight, or we need to total the weight. Yeah, so I guess that, okay, then we would also need another one here, so that's going to be what, weight. So yeah, set weight to, and then, well, weight plus, and then I guess, yeah, this weight, or yeah, okay, sorry, okay, yeah, so set total weight, right, to total weight plus, yeah, obviously, you know, plus this current weight. Okay, and then I guess here at the end, well, then we just go output, and that's going to be total weight divided by the valid count. Yeah, I think that sort of makes sense. Yeah, okay, right, so I guess then we just want to sort of put that into words. And yeah, let's try and just type this one. So, right, let's say maybe at the beginning. Right, let's say at the beginning. Right, let's say initialize. Right, okay, so we want to initialize, let's see, what, a valid count. Right, and total weight to 0. Yeah, that should be fine. Right, let's say maybe after the if condition. Yeah, let's say that, right, so after the if condition, or yeah, the if statement. Right, that checks, yeah, checks for valid weight. Right, then I guess we want to increment, yeah, let's say that, right, then we should increment the valid count, right, and let's say add the current weight to the total weight. Right, add the current weight, yeah, alright, and, okay, yeah, so I think here I'm going to use the same capitalization. Just to let them know that, of course, this is the variable that we're referring to. Yeah, the variable that they've, you know, already sort of talked about in the question. Right, so add the current weight to the right, to the total weight. Yeah, that should be fine. Right, then I guess what, just at the end. So let's say at the end, I guess we can say, well, after the loop. Right, we should, yeah, let's say, right, we should output, I guess, well, yeah, output the average. Right, and that's going to be by by taking the total weight. Right, by taking the total weight and I guess what, dividing. Yeah, so dividing it by the valid count. Yeah, that should be okay. And yeah, okay, right. So even though here it looks like I've only used up half the space. Again, if you were writing in pen, of course, that's going to use more space. Yeah, rather than just, you know, typing it like that. Yeah, so I think that should be enough there. I guess, yeah, okay, right, so I guess if you want, you could mention sort of some of the symbols, so yeah, maybe we can just go ahead and draw those, although to be honest, I guess actually I've done them here. Alright, so possibly in the exam, you know, you could just draw these symbols. Of course, yeah, these are, well, two process statements, and then of course, yeah, this output statement here. Alright, but I think I'm not going to do that. Yeah, although of course in the exam, if you've got empty space like this, I mean, yeah, try and fill it up with something. Even if it seems like you're just, you know, restating the obvious. Right, anyway, then question 2, so the use of arithmetic operators and 4 results are shown. Right, we want to draw one line from, yeah, okay, from each use of the arithmetic operator to the correct result. Right, not all results will be used. Right, okay, so if we look at the first one, so, well, 355 div 10. Right, okay, yeah, okay, so I think what that's going to be the quotient it returns, basically how many times we can wholly divide, right, 355 by 10. So I guess what that's going to be 35, because it's, well, 35 remainder 5. Yeah, therefore that one we can just draw to this 35. Right, then the next one, so, well, 355 divided by 10. Right, so of course, well, that's going to be this 35.5. And then 355 mod 10, well, that's the remainder. Of course, we said, yeah, okay, right, so 355 divided by 10. Well, that's going to be, what, 10 remainder 5. Yeah, okay, right, therefore, of course, the remainder, right, that's going to be this 5. Right, then number 3, so the purpose of this pseudocode algorithm is to carry out bubble sort, to sort in descending order 1000 numbers stored in a one-dimensional or 1D array. Right, we want to identify the line numbers of 4 errors in the pseudocode and suggest a correction for each error. Okay, right, so as with these questions, I always say that what you should do is try to look for the 4 errors first. Don't try to find one error, then, you know, start writing it. Alright, because some people do that, and then actually they get to the end, and suddenly they think they found 5 errors. Right, so of course, yeah, one of the errors they thought they found actually wasn't an error. Right, yeah, or they do the opposite, and, you know, they only find 2 errors, or they only find 3 errors. Right, so yeah, try to actually find all the errors first, then start writing it. Right, so if we look at the first one, so they're declaring values, right, the size or the bounds were 1 to 1000, yeah, that seems okay. Right, the data type real, yeah, I mean, that seems okay. Yeah, okay, right, because here they don't specify that it's an integer, right, they just say numbers. So yeah, I think real is going to be okay. Right, then we say index is char. Right, now probably that seems wrong. You know, we should look at what they're using index for. Right, now here we actually see, right, index of course is the for loop. Yeah, the for loop counter. Right, therefore that's going to be our first error. Of course, that should be an integer. Right, then 3, they declare some variable called stop. Right, that's Boolean. Yeah, I mean, probably that seems okay, because if we look right here, they assign stop false, right, false, and, well, false. Right, yeah, okay, right. So that's also something that seems strange. They've assigned it false 3 times. They've never assigned it true, right, therefore it's not going to change. Alright, so yeah, we'll look at that code, you know, in a bit more detail, right, find out which one they made a mistake with. Right, then if we look at hold, right, that's real. And yeah, if we look at that, so I guess hold here, right, they're assigning what basically the current position. Alright, so I guess really the hold, well, that's the temporary variable. Right, then if we look at line 5, right, so they're assigning stop false, right, and then, well, let's look at if that kind of works with the for loop. So here they say while not stop, right, so while stop is equal to false, right, then they're going to loop. Yeah, so I think that seems to make sense. Right, now of course if, for example, they assigned this true, well, then it would actually never go inside the loop. So I think, yeah, the fact they've assigned it false, right, that of course works. Right, then if we go to line 7, right, they assign stop as false. Alright, and then I guess inside here, yeah, okay, right, inside here they assign stop false as well. Right, now what we want to think is actually, yeah, okay, right, okay, so I think here we actually want to assign this true. So we can assume that it is sorted, and then I guess if we find that it's not sorted, well, that's when we then assign this false. Yeah, just to sort of, you know, let us know that we have to continue looping. Right, so I think our second error is going to be here on line 7. Right, of course, yeah, that should be assigning true. Right, then if we look at the next one, so for index 1 to 50, I mean, that seems a bit weird because, well, here we got 1000 numbers. So yeah, I think this should be, well, up until 999. Right, and the reason we don't go to 1000 is because actually if we go to 1000, well, then we would try to compare, what, 1001 with 1000. But of course we can't compare element 1001, right, since, yeah, of course we only got up to, well, yeah, okay, right, our array size is only 1 to 1000. Right, therefore if we try to access array element 1001, well, that's going to give us an error, like an array index out of bounds error. Right, then if we look at the swap, right, see if this is true. Yeah, alright, okay, alright, so I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to say, right, this is like v, or sort of, well, I guess the index, yeah, let's say index, right, okay, this is going to be the index plus 1, and let's say here, well, this is our temporary variable, right, so I'm just going to draw this diagram. So first what they're doing, they're taking the index and they're assigning this to hold, so they're sort of moving that there. Right, then they take the index plus 1 and they move it back to the index, right, so they're taking this one and moving it here, yeah, that seems okay. Right, then they take the hold, and they then assign it back to the plus, yeah, okay, back to the plus 1. Yeah, okay, so that also seems okay, right? Because what we said is, well, this one has basically gone into the index position, and of course, well, yeah, this index position has obviously gone to the plus 1 position, you know, obviously via this intermediate hold, or yeah, the temporary variable. Okay, so I think, yeah, that's 3 errors, right? Then if we look, so we've got an if, yeah, we have a matching end if, that seems fine. We're obviously for index, next index, yeah, that seems fine. But then if we look here, well, here they have next stop, right? But of course here that should be end while, yeah, just to, you know, close that while loop. Alright, so I think, yeah, let's just try and write all of those. Right, I'm just going to zoom out a bit just so we can see everything in one go. Right, okay, so error line 1, well that's going to be on line 1. No, sorry, okay, right, line 2. Right, and then the corrections, so, right, I guess here they actually want the corrected code. So let's go declare. Okay, yeah, that's going to be declare index. And then right here we just want to go integer because of course, well, that's the that's the index for the for loop. Right, error 2, that's going to be on line 7. Right, and I guess, well, we just want to assign that to be true. So let's go stop and yeah, just assign that true. Right, then the next one, that's going to be yeah, I guess line 8. So of course, well, here just write the correct for loop. So for index 1, right, 2, 999. Alright, yeah, okay, and I guess this is kind of the unoptimized bubble sort. Alright, because if it's optimized, then what we can actually do is we can decrement this sort of loop one time, yeah, after each iteration. Alright, so basically the first loop we would loop, well, you know, 999 times, but then the second time we loop, well, we only have to go up to element 998. Alright, the third time we only have to go to 997. Right, the fourth time obviously 996. Alright, so basically we decrement the number of times that we loop each time. And the reason we do that, yeah, maybe let's just try and draw this quickly. Alright, so let's say we have, I don't know, some array like this. Let's say 4, 7, I don't know, like 6, and I don't know, yeah, okay, okay, yeah, so let's go like 9 like that. Alright, so what's going to happen is basically the biggest element, or yeah, the element we want to sort, is always going to be put in the rightmost position, yeah, after the first iteration. Now, I guess actually for this case, they're saying descending. Alright, so because it's descending, of course, well, that's actually going to be the opposite. So I guess actually here in this situation, since it's descending, well then of course the smallest element is going to be in the rightmost position. Yeah, okay, alright, and then when we say the second iteration of the loop, well then of course, you know, the second element, so in this case, well, the second smallest, right, of course if we're talking ascending, well, it's going to be the second biggest. Alright, so hopefully that makes sense, where, yeah, okay, so we say after one pass the rightmost element is sorted. Right, after 2 passes, the 2 rightmost elements are sorted. Yeah, after 3 passes, obviously the 3 rightmost elements are sorted. Right, etc. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Right, then error 4. So I guess this one's quite easy. Yeah, we just say what end while. So let's go 17 and just go end while. Yeah, kind of just like that. Right, then it says the swap section in lines 11 to 13 of the existing code are to be changed to a call statement for a procedure. Right, this procedure will include 2 parameters representing the indexes of the array elements to be swapped, and we want to complete the pseudocode for the procedure swap. Right, okay, so what that's saying then is basically rather than actually having this code like this, right, they just want to convert that into a procedure. Alright, and I guess, yeah, probably the stop false they can probably keep outside. Although, yeah, do they include that here? Yeah, I guess kind of maybe. Right, so 11 to 13. No, okay, alright, so I guess, yeah, only these 3 lines. Right, these stop, they're still keeping outside. Alright, so what we want to do then is, I guess, what we want one variable for, obviously, what index 1. Yeah, I guess another variable here for index 2. Or, yeah, sorry, parameter. Right, so what we can do, let's go what index, I don't know, yeah, index 1 or like I1, I2. Right, then let's go index 2. Yeah, okay, alright, and one thing to note is that if we have multiple variables of the same type, or well, yeah, multiple parameters in this case, then we can just separate with, yeah, we can separate them with a comma like we see here. Alright, and then of course we just need to declare the data type as always. So yeah, both of those, they're going to be integer. Yeah, that should be fine. Right, then they declare hold, right, a local variable, that's going to be real. And right, let's see what they do. So if we just copy it directly, right, so then they go index. Right, so yeah, we assign the index like that. Of course, well, the value at that index. Right, then the next one, so I think this is where what they go values. Right, that's going to be at the index, well, just index. Alright, yeah, okay, and actually, I guess rather than saying index, right, of course, we want to go index 1. Right, and then here, so that's going to be values at index 1. Right, then we're going to assign that values index 2. Right, and then I guess the final one, well, that's going to be values index 2, and we assign it the hold. So yeah, let's just go that rate values, rate index 2. Yeah, of course that should be a square bracket there. Rate index 2, again, well, closing square bracket. Right, then, yeah, then here we just assign it the hold. Yeah, that should be fine. Right, then it says write the pseudocode to transfer control to the procedure swap. Right, so basically that's saying, well, just call the procedure. The reason they say transfer control is, of course, well, because basically the code is, gone from the previous line, right, and then of course it's now going to start executing, these current instructions, right? It's going to, sort of, change the memory address, of the instruction it's executing, to sort of go inside this procedure. Right, so yeah, okay, what we can do, this one's quite simple. If we just go call, and that's going to be swap, right, and then we just want the parameters, so that's going to be index, then here, well, it's just going to be index plus 1, right, of course, still using the parameters, or yeah, still using the arguments from up here. Right, okay, then C, we want to explain the difference between global variables and the variable declared in 3BI. Right, okay, so the variable declared here, of course, well, that's going to be this hold, right, so that's going to be a local variable. So what we can say is, let's say what global variables can be used, let's say at any point, at any point throughout the program. Right, let's say while local variables, let's say like hold, right, can only be used, let's say we're inside the inside the module, I guess what /scope, right, that it was declared. I think that's okay. Alright, so we could mention that maybe when we, so when we actually call that module, well, and to be honest, right, this is a bit advanced, alright, but we could say, well, when we call that module, basically the local variable is then pushed onto the CPU stack, right, so it's just kind of added into the CPU's memory, basically. And then, when we actually exit that module, for example, when we return if it's a function, or when we end, if it's a procedure, alright, so when we end that module, right, then basically it's just removed from the CPU's memory, or it's popped from the CPU stack. So I think let's try and say that. So let's say maybe let's say when the module is called, right, let's say the local variable right is added to the CPU stack, or kind of added into the CPU's memory. Okay, so here we could say added, we could also say pushed, or let's say pushed onto, because I guess, actually when we're talking about a stack, right, that's a particular data structure, right, data type. I guess pushed means added, right, and then, well, popped, right, that's the word they use for removed. Right, so the local variable is pushed onto the CPU stack, right, let's say, and when the module ends, or, when the module, like, I guess what just ends is okay, or returns. Right, when the module ends, let's say, the local variable is popped from the CPU stack. Hopefully that should be enough, right, for 2 marks. Then 4 says an input must be an integer between 10 and 95 inclusive. Right, we want to state the type of validation check to test if the input meets this requirement. Okay, so hopefully that's quite easy, right? That's just going to be a range check. Of course, checking what is it bigger than the lower bound and what's smaller than, or I guess what's smaller than or equal to the upper bound. Right, and of course, well, this case is inclusive, so obviously, well, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. Right, then we want to suggest suitable, abnormal, and extreme test data for an integer between 10 and 95 inclusive, and give a reason for each of your choices. Right, okay, so if we say abnormal, well, that's going to be something outside the range. Let's just go like 0, for example. Let's say, 0 is outside the range right, of acceptable values. Let's say what acceptable, right, /normal values. Right, okay, so then if we say extreme test data, well, this is going to be either the smallest value that's allowed, right, in this case 10, right, or the largest value that's allowed, of course, 95. So I think here, let's go 10, right, the reason, let's say, this is the smallest, right, value that should be accepted. I think that's fine. Right, okay, then the next one, so let's move that because again it blocks the text. Right, a password system requires all new passwords to contain at least 12 characters. We want to state the type of validation check to test that the password meets this requirement. Right, so of course that's going to be a length check. Yeah, okay, alright, and okay, so let's also try to get some of the other validation checks, right? So we said range check, of course we're checking it's within that range. Or obviously length check, well yeah, we've sort of said that. Right, presence check, so checking have they entered something. Right, we can also say existence check. So for example, checking a value is in a list of kind of pre-allowed values or like a white list of values. I guess we can do a type check, right? Checking is it a number, what, is it an integer, right? Is it a string? Yeah, I guess we can also do a format check. For example, checking, is something a valid email, right? Is it a valid telephone number? No, I think that's most of them. Right, possibly there might be one or two that I forgot. Right, but yeah, I think that's most of them. Right, so then we want to write the pseudocode to allow a new password to be entered and to ensure that it contains at least 12 characters. The password is re-input until it meets this requirement. And we want to use an appropriate error message for inputs that do not meet the requirement. Okay, so let's just go ahead and see if I can copy that. Okay, yeah, there we go. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and here just write it. Okay, right. Now, if we look at this, it says, well, we don't need to declare any variables for this algorithm. However, if of course we want to test it on the site, I guess we will need to. Right, so let's just go ahead and declare something quickly. Right, so I guess, so I guess we need the original password. No, okay, yeah, alright. So here I guess we actually just need one, right? We just need the new password. So let's just say that, I guess, password. Alright, and that's going to be a string. Right, so what do we want to do? We want to, write pseudocode to allow it to be entered and ensure it contains at least 12 characters. Right, so here you can do this either using a while loop or a repeat until. I think I'm just going to use a while loop. Right, and the advantage of using a while loop is that basically we can output first, please enter a password. Or of course we can then input that into password. And what we can then do is we can then have a different error message inside the while loop. For example, I know password less than 12 characters, right? Please re-enter. Whereas if we use a repeat until, well, really what we would need is we would actually need an extra if statement inside the repeat until. Because I guess the problem with a repeat until is that you're always going to execute at least one time. So in order to get that error message, which it says here, well then of course, we need, an extra if statement inside that. Alright, so I think, let's do it just using a while loop. Let's go output. And then, maybe please enter a new password. Right, then we can then just input that into password. So here's going to be the validation then. So we want to check while the length of password, and here it should be at least 12 characters. So I guess what greater than, while it's less than 12. Right, then what we want to do, let's go output. Let's say password should be at least 12 characters. Let's say try again. Something like that. Right, then if we just input again, so we're just going to input that into password, of course just overwriting that. Right, then if we go end while, and I think is that everything we need. Appropriate error message. I think that's fine. Alright, so let's run that. Let's go, just like A's like that. Of course password too short. Right, and I'm going to try and get exactly 12, so that's going to be 3. Let's go 6, 9, and that should be 12. And we see that's accepted. Let's go, for example, 11. Right, so that's going to be 11. Of course, try again. And then I guess have something long. Right, that's going to be fine. Then number 5 says a computer store uses a database table component to store the stock details of a range of components needed to build computer systems. Right, we want to complete the table by giving appropriate data types for each field. Only the data types, text, character, Boolean, integer, real date time are available in this database. Right, the first one then ID, and that has to be a unique identifier, right? In other words, the primary key. So what I would say for the ID, either we can say text, right, like some 5 character ID or something, right, or we can say integer. So I think So I think for the ID, usually they'll accept either. Unless they specify that it should be some 5 character ID or something. Then of course name, well that's going to be text. Description, component description, of course that's going to be text. Right, price, so selling price to 2 decimal places, well, that's going to be real. Right, number available, right, number in stock, of course, well, that's going to be an integer. You know, we can't have like a decimal number of, you know, components available. Right, minimum level, well, I think for the same reason, that's going to be an integer. Of course, we can't have, you know, like 5.5 parts. Right, reordered, whether the component has been reordered or not. So what that's going to be a Boolean, of course, true or false. And date ordered, well, the date the component was ordered, of course, right, that's going to be the date. And yeah, I mean, that's quite a lot there, right, 8. So I guess, yeah, we need 8 for 4 marks. Right, then we want to complete the structured query language or SQL statements to list only the unique identifier, component name, and reorder date of all the components that have been reordered. Right, okay, so I guess first, well, let's say what we need to select, right, that's going to be the ID. It's also the name, and I guess, yeah, that's just called name. Right, and also the reorder date. Alright, so the reorder date, that's going to be this one, right, this date ordered. Right then from, so we see the table name up here, right, that's going to be component. And I think, yeah, let's also keep capitals the same as what they have. Right then where, so right, all the components that have been reordered. So I think here we just go where reordered. Yeah, where reordered equals true. And yeah, that should be fine. And to be honest, actually for Cambridge, often for some reason they just say yes. Right, but I think here, you know, we can go true, right, we can say yes. Yeah, I guess, you know, both of those are acceptable. Right then, number 6, so this pseudocode represents an algorithm, and I think with this, right, it's a good idea to read through it first. Yeah, before you try and probably create a trace table or something. Yeah, trace table. Alright, so let's kind of have a look, try and understand it. Right, so first what they're doing, they're creating this store. Yeah, where's the pen? Okay, there we go. Right, okay, yeah, they're creating this store array, right, 1 to 100 of character. Right, then I guess, well, they've got some words, some index, right, some letter. Right, then they're going to input a word. They're going to input, they're going to loop from index 1, right, so yeah, kind of from character 1, right, to the length of the word. So probably just looping through character by character. If we then look at this, right, so they're getting substring. Right, the string is the word, of course, well, that's the word they've input. Right, then index, so so index, well, that's the current position, right, and here they're getting 1 character. Right, so let's say they enter, I know, just A, B, C, D, E. Right, so what we're going to do is the first iteration is going to be A, right, then of course, well, the next iteration of the loop is going to be B, right, then obviously C, then D, then E. Alright, so it's just getting each character, you know, each iteration of the loop. Or, so it's getting the next character each iteration of the loop. Right, then they've got a case statement, case of letter, right, and I guess here they're just checking for the vowels, right, yeah, A, E, I, O, U. Right, and then if it's a vowel, well, then they just assign this letter to be nothing. Alright, and then what they do is they then assign this letter, back to the current position. Right, okay, and then, right, yeah, so then what they do, well, of course, they just go to the next letter. Right, and then I guess what they loop from 1 to the length of the word, and if the store is not equal to an empty character, so in other words, right, if it's a consonant, right, if it's not a vowel, well, then they're going to output that consonant. Right, so I guess what this is doing then, this is just removing all the vowels. Right, so if we have your A, B, C, D, E, well, what's going to happen, of course, well, that A is going to become empty, right, the E is also going to become empty. Alright, so so in effect, we're just going to have an array, right, with, of course, well, just like empty character, then obviously, yeah, B, C, D, right, then obviously just an empty character at the end. Just kind of removing the vowels, right, from that string. Right, so we want to then complete the trace table for the algorithm using the input data computer. Okay, so as always with these trace table questions, I'm just going to go split screen. Right, okay, so I guess first of all we want to input computer because, yeah, we see here that's the input. So let's just go ahead and do that, right, yeah, that's the first instruction. Right, so computer. Right, okay, yeah, so then we're going to go index. And, right, so maybe here you can start a new row if you want. Although I did notice in paper 22, when they first started the loop, they actually didn't start a new row. Alright, now the thing is actually, if you look at these papers, it kind of says, right, just mark the columns, right, and yeah, they're kind of more explicit about that because a lot of people are asking, when should they start a new row in a trace table? Alright, so I think now what they're saying is actually it's only the columns that are marked. It sort of doesn't really matter when you start a new row, to an extent. Alright, so as long as you're consistent when you start a new row, so as long as you don't have it in like completely the wrong order, like reverse order or something, then yeah, as long as it goes, you know, from top to bottom, it sort of doesn't really matter when you start a new row. Yeah, since they're just going to mark the columns anyway. Alright, so I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to keep it on the same row, yeah, as they did in paper 22. Right, okay, then they get the letter, so the first letter, well, that's just going to be C. Right, and yeah, okay, right, yeah, so here you want to think, well, even though it's one letter, right, substring is still going to return a string, right, it's not going to return a character. Right, therefore, yeah, okay, therefore we want to have letter inside double quotes. Right, then case of letter, yeah, I guess, well, yeah, okay, so C is obviously not a vowel, right, therefore it's going to stay like that. Right, then we're going to assign letter, so C, right, to the current index. So yeah, let's just go C like that. Right, then of course we go next index, so here then we can just say index is 2. Right, then we get the next letter, so that's going to be O. Yeah, and okay, yeah, and I think this one we can do quite quick, since we've actually seen what this algorithm does already. Right, so of course here, right, O, right, therefore letter goes empty. Right, so I guess here we should actually reassign that. Right, then, okay, yeah, okay, so again we want to take this letter and obviously just assign it to the current index. Yeah, alright, okay, and yeah, so here is where you got to be careful. Right, yeah, okay, so because of course we've gone to line 3, right, therefore we have to, yeah, enter it in line 3. Right, then again we go to next index, so obviously starting a new row. Right, so that's going to be M. Right, and I guess what M of course is not a vowel, right, therefore here we can just write M. Right, then we go to 4, right, that's going to be P. Right, again, of course, right, P is not going to be a vowel, right, therefore we just add P. Right, then if we go to 5, right, so this is going to be U. Yeah, okay, right, and okay, so because U obviously is a vowel, right, then again we just need to assign empty into this letter. And I guess, yeah, it's going to be, yeah, okay, this row here, right, and of course, yeah, that gets assigned an empty string. Right, then if we go to 6, right, so that's going to be T. Right, okay, so yeah, of course, right, T is not a vowel, right, therefore here we're just going to assign T. Right, then I guess what, E, right, so of course that's going to be 7, yeah, here the current letter is E. Right, again, that's going to go to an empty string, and then I guess, yeah, here we then just assign an empty string there. Right, then if we go to 8, okay, yeah, and is computer only 8? Yeah, I guess, yeah, only 8 characters. Alright, I thought I missed a character there, but I guess, yeah, I guess not. Right, okay, so that of course goes to R. And yeah, then finally we just finally have R like that there. Right, so then what we want to do, we want to loop, right, for index 1 to length of word, and right, okay, yeah, so if the sort of current index, well, yeah, obviously the current store position at that index is not equal to, well, sort of nothing, right, then we're just going to output that particular character. Okay, so I guess if we go down here, then what needs to happen is, well, index needs to go back to 1. Yeah, there's nothing else that's happened, right? Okay, and then yeah, yeah, okay, I'm sort of on the right row. Right, okay, so here then we're just going to output C, right, because of course that's not equal to like an empty string. Right, then we go to 2, right, but of course, well, here nothing is output, yeah, since this condition fails. Right, then index goes to 3, and I guess what here, this is going to be the M. Yeah, alright, and then we go to 4, right, that's going to be the P that's output. Right, then I guess 5. Right, okay, so 5, well, nothing is going to be output. Right, then if we go to 6, right, that's going to be the T. Right, then I guess if we go to 7, right, that's going to be R. No, okay, right, no, sorry. Yeah, okay, so... right, hang on, I think I've done that wrong, right? Okay, yeah, so 1 is C, right, 2 is O. Yeah, 3 is M, 4 is P. Right, 5 is U, so I guess, yeah, this one. Okay, right, 6 is T. Okay, right, so 7 then. 7 is going to be the E, so of course, yeah, we don't have any output there. And then I guess, yeah, fine. Okay, right, not that one. Right, so finally, then we go to 8, and yeah, that's then going to be the R. Yeah, okay, so I think hopefully that's right, with no mistakes. Right, so then for B, we just want to describe the process in the algorithm. So I guess that kind of means, well, what is it doing and how is it doing it? So I guess what we can say, we're looping through each character by character, and we say that if we see a vowel, well, then we just sort of reassign the letter to be nothing, right? Of course, we assign the current letter right into the current sort of store position. Yeah, alright, and okay, I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to write it up here, you know, since I can see the algorithm. Of course, if you're in the exam, you know, of course, well, this is going to be on a different page, and of course, yeah, you should easily be able to see it, right, since you can have both pages open at the same time. Right, okay, so what we can say, or let's say, yeah, the user inputs a word. Right, the user inputs a word. Right, let's say what then the algorithm loops over, loops over each character, right, in the string. Yeah, let's say what and I don't know, yeah, maybe and assigns the current, assigns the current character, right, to the letter variable. Right, yeah. So let's say if it's a vowel, I know, yeah, this this letter variable. This letter variable is assigned an empty string. Yeah, all right. Then we can say what. Okay, yeah. Let's say the current letter. Right, is assigned to an array, right, at the current characters index. Yeah, I guess I don't know what. Okay, yeah. Let's say what before. I don't know. Yeah, before a loop which outputs all of the letters, or yeah, we could say after. Yeah. So the current letter. Yeah. All right. And okay, I guess here we could say what or empty. Yeah, or empty if it was a vowel. Yeah, so the current letter or empty, or yeah, or empty if it was a vowel is assigned to the to an array at the current characters index. Yeah, let's say what after. Yeah, let's say after this loop, right there is another loop, right, to output. Well, let's say I don't know. Yeah, all of the consonants. Right, all of the consonants, right, that were in the original string. Yeah, I mean, I think that's okay. Like, possibly we could say by sort of using an if statement to check if that particular index is not equal to an empty string. Yeah, let's maybe say that, right. So after this loop, there is another loop to output all of the consonants that were in the original string. Yeah, okay, right. Let's say by. Okay, right. Let's say yeah, by only outputting array elements, right, that are not equal to an empty string. Yeah, I think that should be okay. Right then, for number 7, we want to draw the symbol for a NOR logic gate and complete the truth table for it. Right, okay, so hopefully you can remember this. Of course, it's just going to be an OR gate. So yeah, let's actually draw these lines. I think I forgot to draw the lines in the previous video. Yeah, that's my attempt at an OR gate. Right then, of course, we just have the not in front of it. Right, so the truth table. Right, and I think sometimes I see people trying to remember these. I would say really, I mean, just think of the OR gate. Right then, of course, just not it. Yeah, okay, right, okay, yeah, so if we have here then, well, the OR gate, of course, yeah, so 0 or 0 is going to be 0, obviously 0 or 1 is 1, right, 1 or 0 is 1, right, 1 or 1 is 1, right, therefore, if we not that, right, to make it a NOR, well, then, of course, it just becomes, right, 1, yeah, 1 followed by 3 zeros. Right, then we want to consider the rules given in the following table, right, so L, right, that means lark, right, yeah, okay, right, dark, and then, right, yeah, L of 1 means light. Right then M, well, yeah, no motion detected. If it's 0, obviously motion detected. Right, S, well, no sound, and then sound. Right, so a security system uses sensors to sound an alarm if an intruder is detected. The alarm sounding is represented by the output A equals 1, right, so A is true. The alarm sounds if it's dark, right, and if either motion or sound, or both motion and sound are detected. Yeah, that's quite wordy. Right, so we want to write the logic expression for the security system. Right, okay, so yeah, let's try and break this into the different parts. Right, okay, so well, 1 if it's dark, and I guess, well, dark, right, that's going to be this not L. Yeah, since of course L is going to be 0. So let's kind of write this. Right, let's go, yeah, right, not L. Right, okay, yeah, okay, then it says and, right, so yeah, and, right, if either, yeah, I guess what, motion or sound. So let's go maybe, yeah, this. Right, or, well, motion and sound. Yeah, I think that's kind of how we want to kind of have the brackets there. Right, so I guess let's go and. Right, so the first one is, yeah, what, motion or sound. Yeah, and alright, okay, I think here we're actually going to need, you know, 2 sets of brackets. Right, okay, so motion is going to be, what, M is 1. So let's go, yeah, and M, right, or sound. So I guess our sound is S. So yeah, let's go, what, M or S. Right, and then this, so yeah, or both, right, motion and sound. Yeah, okay, alright. So actually this one is a bit weird because I guess that can be simplified. Yeah, because actually we don't really have to worry about this because I guess, yeah, okay, right, yeah. So for this to be true, right, motion and sound, well, of course, this also has to be true, right? Because, yeah, yeah, okay, right, I guess for both of these, well, of course, yeah, this has to be 1, right? Therefore, if one of them is 1, well, then obviously, yeah, 1 or x, right, that's always going to be 1. Yeah, but I think let's just write it in full anyway, right? So here we go, or, right, and that's going to be, well, yeah, okay, right, so just m, yeah, m and s. Right, so then we just want to complete the truth table for the security system. Right, okay, so let's just go here and, right, I think first then let's just do this not L. Right, let's go not L. Right, the next one we can do, well, let's go, yeah, M or S. Right, so M or S. I guess the next one, so what, M and S. And then, right, okay, yeah, so then I guess we want all them together. So I think what I'm going to do, I don't know, let's call this 1, let's call that 2. Let's go, yeah, no, like 1 or 2. Right, then I guess we just have the final expression, which is going to be what, this one. And then, yeah, anded with this one. Right, so let's go ahead and do this. Right, so, okay, so first then, because this is the first column, well, we've got, what, four zeros, then 4 ones. Right, so if we not that, of course, well, now it's going to become 4 ones, right, followed by 4 zeros. Then if we look at the next one, so M or S, right, so here, of course, we have 2 zeros, well, therefore that's a 0, right, 0 or 1, that's a 1. Yeah, 1 or 0, that's 1, right, that's 1. Right here again, we've got 2 more zeros, right, that's a 0. And then, yeah, I think all of these have at least 1, 1. Right, then if we go M and S, so here I'm going to look for where it's true. So here, well, of course, right, these are both 1s and these are both 1s. Right, therefore, everything else we can fill in with a 0. Right, and then I guess, well, 1 or 2, so yeah, this one or this one. Right, okay, so here, well, that's going to be a 0, right, that's going to be a 0. And then, yeah, here, right, these are just all going to be 1s. Alright, and yeah, okay, yeah, so as we can see, okay, right, this one here, right, so 0, 1, 1, 1, right, 0, 1, 1, 1, right, again, okay, yeah, that's going to be the same as this column, yeah, which is what I said, right, so really we see actually this one is kind of redundant, we actually don't need that, although, yeah, okay, right, yeah, okay, although for these questions for IG, right, they actually don't want you to simplify. Right, so I guess right then, what do we want to do? So we want to take, was it this one? Yeah, I guess, well, this one and then and it with this one. Right, so I guess here, well, 1 and 0, right, so that's going to be 0, and then, well, 1 and 1, 1 and 1, 1 and 1, and then, well, yeah, okay, right, and then obviously here we've got 4 zeros, right, so yeah, we can just go, yeah, 4 zeros like that. So I think here I'm just going to demonstrate that logic expression, yeah, on this site, well, booleanlogic.pro. So if I just paste that, yeah, okay, right here it generates the logic circuit, to be honest, not laid out the best way. Right, and then so yeah, okay, here we see M or S, right, we see, well, that's the same, right, as this one, right, so yeah, M or S, or M and S, right, that's, yeah, just equivalent. And then I guess, yeah, finally here we see the truth table, right, with 3 ones like that. Yeah, okay, right, yeah, so I would say if you're struggling with these logic circuits, again, this is quite a good site because I guess you can just, like, paste things, or you can just type things, A and B, right, of course, C that, and then, I don't know, just, write, like, yeah, or C and D. Yeah, just just sort of, yeah, try your own expressions. Of course, you can also try your own practice questions, right? By like thinking of, I don't know, thinking of some logic circuit, or yeah, thinking of some logic expression, right? Obviously, then trying to draw the logic circuit for it. Yeah, trying to create the truth table. Also, I guess trying to see the sum of products here. Of course, yeah, just checking. So, for example, here the input is true on this one. Right, so because the input is true in this row, well, therefore we say this is not A and not B, right? Then it's going to be what, and C and D, because yeah, 0, 0, 1, 1, right? Yeah, which is going to be this one, right? So yeah, not A and not B, right? And C and D. Yeah, okay, yeah. So then you see we just want to OR it. So we want to OR it with this one, because of course, yeah, this is the next one, right? So of course this here is going to be not A, and then, well, yeah, right, and B and C and D, which is going to be this one, right? Yeah, not A and B and C and D. Alright, so again, if you want to practice, yeah, that's quite a good website to practice, yeah, although it's, currently not really finished. Okay, then for the final question, question 8, the 15 marker, it says a collector needs a video library system for a collection of videos stored on 4K Blu-ray discs, standard Blu-ray disc, DVD, or as digital downloads. The two-dimensional 2D array video is used to store for each video item the title, the format of the video, right, so 4K Blu-ray, standard Blu-ray, DVD or digital download, the year it was released stored as a string, and a storage code to represent where the video can be found in the collection. Right, so yeah, for example, Macbeth digital download, right, 2015, again, that's stored as a string, since in pseudocode you can't mix array types, right? So for example, if you declare an array as a string, well, of course you can't have, some strings and some integers. And then obviously, video 4, yeah, just some like ID code, right, storage code. Right, so the two-dimensional 2D array results is used to store the results of a search to find a specific video. The search uses the video title, and if the video is found, its data is copied from the array video to the array results. The search continues, and if other videos with the same title are found, this data is also copied from to the array results. The search ends when the end of the data is reached. Right, okay, so we want to write a program that meets the following requirements. Right, the video library array needs to be initialized with the null string, right, allowing up to 10,000 records. The array results must be initialized before every search with the null string, and must be able to hold up to 20 search results with the same title. Right, we want to create a menu to add a new video to the library to search for an existing video by title, right, or to stop with validation of the input. Right, when the user enters a new video, the following data is stored in the first available location of the relevant array. I guess what the four things, right? So the video title, format, year, and storage code. So yeah, I guess the user has to input all the data. Right, allow input of data for another video if required. So I guess ask them, right, do you want to enter another video or input another video, right? Yes or no. Right, when searching for an existing video, if a match is found, transfer all the data for that video into the array results, and continue to search until all videos with the same title have been found. Then we want to output the results from the array results, and if the video title is not found, then output a suitable message. Right, the system returns to the menu after completing the input or the output, right, until the user chooses to stop. Right, so as always, we need to use pseudocode or program code and add comments to explain how your code works. Right, okay, so unlike question 22, here we actually don't need to declare anything, right, arrays, variables, constants. Right, and yeah, all inputs and outputs must contain suitable messages. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead here to the site. Okay, right, now of course, as always, if you want this starter code, just go to exam questions, right, click on questions, of course, yeah, choose, the correct question. Alright, and also I've also got a load of sample data here, honestly, just, ChatGPT, because I guess it's quite annoying to have to type in, hundreds of different, sort of data values, even to check for, multiple different, multiple searches, let's say multiple movies of the same name, we would still have to type in at least 8 different values, right, which is, going to take quite a long time. Alright, so I think if we go down, and I think, I've also copied the instructions here. I think I've got 100 sample data, or 100, sample movies. Also just one thing quickly. Right, since actually creating arrays is quite slow on the site, so what I've done, I've just set this max movies as 200. Alright, whereas of course in the real question it's going to be 10,000. So rather than using 10,000, right, I'm just going to make it 200, just so it's quicker to test. Otherwise it'll probably take, 5 or 10 seconds just to create an array of 10,000 elements. Right, okay, so I guess first what we want to do, so the array needs to be initialized with the null string. Let's go ahead and do that. And so here I am going to declare the variables, although of course right in the exam you don't have to. Let's go, maybe video index, that's going to be an integer. So I think first then we can just loop for video index. There we go. So that's going to be 1. Right, now of course in the exam again you'd want to go to 10,000. Right here I'm just going to go to max movies. And to be honest, you can also use constants like this in the exam. Alright, that's also acceptable. Right, so then what we want to do, we just want to initialize all four kind of like second dimensions, right, to be an empty string. Let's go video, and that's going to be at video index. Then the second dimension, here let's go column 1, right, and of course just initialize that to an empty string. And to be honest, right, of course this is the advantage of typing. that I can just quickly copy and paste. Yeah, whereas I guess in the real exam, of course, you have to type all of those individually. Right, then let's go next video index. Yeah, that should be the first one. Right, so the array results must be initialized before every search. Yeah, we don't really have to do that. Well, okay, yeah, so we don't have to do that now. Of course, we do that later when they search. Right, so then we want to create a menu to add a new video to the library. Yeah, right, or search, right, or exit. So yeah, I think now we can then create this menu. Let's go, for example, menu choice. And I mean, to be honest, right, this is similar code to what we always have. Right, so let's go repeat until. And I guess what we want to repeat until the menu choice is equal to 3. Because let's say, well, video, yeah, add video can be 1, right, search video is 2. And I think it also says this has to be validated, right? Yeah, with validation of the input. So I guess we want to check this between 1 and 3. And I think actually this is basically the same as paper 21, right? They just had to do the same thing. So I think here, let's maybe just go output. Right, let's say, I don't know, yeah, like video, what is it, like video rental or like video? Okay, right, video library. Right, so yeah, video library. I guess what, like menu? Right, okay, yeah, okay, right. So as always, what I'm going to say is that if you're in the real exam, well, of course, here you'd want multiple output statements. Right, so you can go output, let's go 1, right, that's what add new video. Right, then of course you go output 2, right, and that's going to be, I guess, what, search video. And then, yeah, let's go output 3, and, well, that's of course just going to be exit or quit. Yeah, okay, yeah, although, however, the thing is with the website is that on the input prompt, well, we would only have, like, the one most recent output, you know, that's actually displayed on the input prompt. Alright, so instead what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go ahead and just make that a multi-line string. So yeah, rather than have an output, let's just have, I guess, yeah, like a, well, again, yeah, multi-line string. Yeah, and that should be okay like that. Right, so I guess then we just want to input that into menu choice. Right, and here I guess we can have a while loop, so while menu choice is less than 1, right, or greater than 3. So let's go, yeah, menu choice is less than 1, alright, or menu choice is greater than 3. Yeah, and I think let's go do. Right, so, I don't know, let's go, right, invalid, yeah, invalid menu choice, alright, should be between, alright, 1 and 3. Yeah, let's say, like, try again. Alright, yeah, then of course we can just input again. So right, input menu choice. Yeah, then if we just go end while. So yeah, that should be okay for the menu. Right, okay, yeah. So here then we could do this with an if statement, right? So if menu choice equals 1, yeah, else, and then, you know, if menu choice equals 2. I guess we can also do it with a case statement as well. Alright, and yeah, okay, yeah. So I guess the advantage of a case is that, of course, if we have, I don't know, like 10 different choices, well, then a case is going to be kind of cleaner, right? Rather than having like a nested if statement with, what, I don't know, like sort of, yeah, 9, you know, sub levels or something. So let's go, right, case of menu choice. Alright, and yeah, okay, so I think what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to create, well, procedures for both of these, rather than having all of this code inside the case, right, which again is going to be quite complex. Right, so I guess choice 1, and let's just go cool. And right, yeah, okay, so of course we haven't created this yet, but I guess what this is going to be add video, or yeah, add new video. Alright, and then I guess for 2, let's go cool, and what that's going to be search video. Yeah, that should be fine. Right, is there anything else we need to do kind of in the menu? Not really, because I mean that's about adding the video. Yeah, that's about searching the video. Yeah, I think that's fine. Yeah, okay, alright, yeah, so I think that's fine. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go here and let's go output, and I think as always, let's just say like goodbye. Yeah, that's obviously when they end. Alright, so here then is where we can actually create, yeah, I guess, you know, create the main part of the code, which is going to be these procedures. So let's go procedure, and I'm going to copy it, yeah, just so I don't spell it wrong. Right, okay, so yeah, okay, here we don't actually need any parameters. Right, now what we want to do then, we just want to ask them to input all of this data. Yeah, okay. Alright, and I think what I might do is, yeah, right, okay, because some way we need to store the sort of next index to input the video. So I think what I might do, let's say, I don't know, let's say like num videos, or okay, let's say current number of videos. yeah, just to be more explicit, you know, what that is to the examiner. Right, so, and yeah, okay, right, what we can do is, I guess, when we start, well, we can just set the current number of videos to be equal to 0. Yeah, or, okay, in fact, all right, I'm just going to go num videos, because I mean, current number of videos is quite long. Right, so let's go num videos, that's going to be equal to 0, because, well, of course, yeah, currently there's no videos, it's empty. Right, so what we want to do, yeah, I guess we just want to sort of increment number of videos. Although the thing is, I did notice actually that it does say we can let them enter multiple videos. Yeah, like where is that? Where it says that? Yeah, I think somewhere it says. Yeah, okay, here, right. So allow input of another video if required. So again, really, we're gonna need a menu. Right, and I think here, let's go, I don't know, yeah, like Y or N, right, yes or no. So let's go declare, and yeah, I know, like menu choice, that should be fine. Alright, yeah, okay, however, this menu choice is going to be a character. To be honest, like maybe calling it the same name might be a bit confusing. So let's say, yeah, okay, right, let's say yeah, enter another video. Yeah, right, let's say enter another video. Yeah, I think that should be fine. Alright, it's quite long, but I guess it's descriptive. Right, so what we want to do, well, here we're just going to have repeat until, and I think this time, let's go lcase. Yeah, okay, right, yeah, okay, so lcase takes either a char or a string. Right, okay, so we want to loop until enter another video, and I guess what we can say until it's equal to n. Right, yeah, okay, right, or we can go until it's not equal to y. Right, because the thing is, if, for example, they enter something by mistake, let's say they enter a, well, if, for example, we go, yeah, equals n, yeah, okay, yeah, right, the thing is that if they enter a by mistake, well, then, of course, it's going to ask them for another video again. Alright, whereas if, for example, we go not equal to y, well, then if they enter something by mistake like a, well, then it's just going to terminate. Alright, and to be honest, yeah, okay, so to be honest, if it stops, that's not really a big problem. Because of course, well, then they're just going to go back to this menu here, and if they do want to add another video, well, then of course they can just, you know, call menu choice 1 again. Right, okay, so what we want to do then is here we just want to ask them to enter all the video details. Yeah, and I guess we also want to increment the num videos. Yeah, okay, yeah, because currently then of course this starts at 0, and of course we can insert anything at video index 0. Yeah, okay, alright, yeah, so I was going to say we could use this video index for the num videos. However, I guess since we've used this for the for loop, right, again, possibly that's going to be confusing. So I think, yeah, let's just say num videos, right, that's going to be fine. Right, let's say, I know, yeah, enter new video's name. Right, and then here, so here we can then just input this directly into the array. So the array is going to be video. Right, the index is going to be the number of videos, of course, that's starting from 1. Right, and then, yeah, here, of course, we just go 1 like that. Yeah, let me just undo that. Right, and then I think here we can just copy and paste this a couple of times. Again, obviously, that's the benefit of, you know, doing it on the computer rather than writing. So I think the next one, was it, I don't know, was it the format is next? Yeah, so video title, format, year, storage code. Okay, so see if I can remember that. Right, so format, right, that one's going to be year, and right, that one's going to be storage code. Alright, and of course, yeah, we also need to change the columns here. Yeah, okay, I think that should be okay. Yeah, I think that's fine. Right, then I guess we just want to ask them, right, do they want to enter another video? So let's go output. Yeah, do you want to enter another video? Alright, and let's go, yeah, y/n. Alright, and then here I guess we can then just input that into the enter another video. And then, yeah, hopefully this case will work. Or yeah, this condition will work. Yeah, I mean, right, let's see if we've got everything. So when the user enters a new video, the following data is stored, yeah, right in the first available location. Again, we've done that because we're using the num videos, right, we're incrementing that each time. Right, so video title, format, yeah, so year, right, storage code, right, allow input of another video, yeah. Yeah, I think that's fine, right, so then I think we can just do the search. Right, so search, right, when searching a video, if a match is found, transfer all the data to that video. And I guess we also need to reinitialize this results as well. Alright, so yeah, let's go ahead and try and do that. So let's go procedure, yeah, what do I call that? Right, so search video. Right, okay, so first what we want to do, and I think I'm just going to copy this because it's basically going to be the same. Right, yeah, okay, yeah, although, right, here we're not looping to 10,000, right, we're only looping to 20. Yeah, and, okay, this one should then be the results array. Yeah, okay, I think that should be fine, alright, so, yeah, we're just looping through, obviously, 20 results, or, 20 elements in the results array. Yeah, just initializing all to 0, which, again, that's what it tells us to do. Right, and then I guess probably we can make a variable, let's call it, I don't know, like, movie name, or yes, search name. Right, so search name, right here, let's go what output. Yeah, let's say enter name of movie, right, to find. Right here, let's go input, we're going to input that into the search name. Right, okay, yeah, and here then I guess what we need is we need a counter or an index to count how many elements are currently in the results array. Alright, because of course when we find a sort of matching video, well then we need to increment that kind of counter, right, so that the next match we find will then go to the next, yeah, the sort of, next index in the results array. Alright, and I think it also said that we have to output a message if there's no videos found, right, and of course we can then use, I don't know, yeah, if found equals 0, right, to sort of, yeah, obviously to sort of, well, check that condition. Right, so let's go, I don't know, maybe, yeah, num matches, right, that should be fine. So yeah, the number of, search results we found. Alright, and that's going to be an integer, and yeah, let's just initialize that. So, right, num matches is going to be 0. Right, so then I guess we just want to loop, right, so here we can loop, yeah, so for the video index, that's going to be 1. Okay, and yeah, so here we could go to 10,000. Actually, all we need to do, what it's going to be, yeah, we loop until the number of videos, right, so the current number of videos we've added. Right, then what we want to do, so we want to check that if this video's title is equal to the search name that we said. So the way we can do that is, and in fact, hang on, right, this is not video, right, that's video index. Right, so here we go, if video, right, the index is going to be video index, right, the column, okay, yeah, okay, the row is going to be video index, right, the column is going to be 1, right, of course the title. So if that's equal to the search name, right, so then what we want to do, we just want to copy that data, right, into this results. Yeah, alright, so let's just sort of type it out. So let's go results, right, this again is going to be the video index. No, okay, no, sorry. No, right, okay, so this one is going to be the, okay, yeah, so I guess number of matches. Right, although again, of course, we have to increment that because otherwise the num matches is going to be 0. And yeah, there's obviously no element 0 in the array. Right, okay, so let's go results, that's num matches, right, and here then this is going to be, yeah, column 1, right, of course that's going to be the name, right, and the name, well, that's the current video that we're searching, so that's going to be the video index and, yeah, column 1. Alright, and again, I'm just going to copy and paste this, alright, and then, of course, let's change this, right, that's going to be column 2, column 3, yeah, 4, and then, of course, likewise here, yeah, just to copy that data. Yeah, I think that should be all we need in the end if. Let's just go next video right, next video index. Yeah, let's see if there's anything else we have to do there. Right, so video library initialized, yeah, we've done that. Right, array results must be initialized before every search, yeah, we've done that. Right, hold up to 20 search results, yeah, I mean, okay, yeah, so, yeah, okay, so here we've done that because, of course, well, that's just, yeah, obviously 1 to 20 here. And again, obviously, that's like pre-declared, yeah, you don't have to declare that. Right, then create a menu, yeah, we've done that. Right, so stop, yeah, done that. Right, I guess here, yeah, that's just inputting, we've done that. Right, so, okay, right here then, so we want to output the results from the array results. Right, okay. And yeah, if the video type was not found, output a suitable message. Right, okay, so to be honest, we could actually just output this. Yeah, I guess kind of like in, yeah, okay, yeah, so, okay, so we could output here, just in this, yeah, obviously we're in this if statement, and then I guess we'd have another condition at the end, so we could go, what if num matches, okay, yeah, it's not recognized, I'm inside the function, alright, okay, let's go if num matches, or yeah, inside the procedure, alright, num matches is equal to 0, let's go output, I know, yeah, no videos found. right, with that name. Yeah, I think that's fine, you know, or you could say, yeah, with the name. Okay, let's say that, right, with the name. And then let's just go, what, search name. Yeah, so I think that's fine, right? And then, yeah, okay, right. And then also we could actually just output that, yeah, we could output this inside here. Although possibly they're looking for us to actually have another loop. Yeah, so, yeah, okay, yeah. So I guess really either solution is going to work. Right, let's just go else and then we'll go end if. Right, yeah, okay. So here then, of course, this is else where if there are matches. Right, so what we can do, let's go for, and again, let's just use video index again. Alright, let's go 1, and right here then we only have to go to the number of matches. Yeah, alright, so I'm not sure why it's not recognised that I'm inside that function, or yeah, inside that procedure. Like possibly that's going to sort of refresh it. Right, so here, and I guess we can just output this in a way. So let's go results, and yeah, alright, so maybe we can say the name. So let's say, right, so yeah, the name, and then maybe we can have the year in brackets. Yeah, I know, yeah, let's say, right, was released on, and then obviously like DVD, digital download, yeah, and has the storage code, yeah, whatever. Right, so I think that's going to be like a sort of, yeah, valid sentence that we can use. Right, let's say that, and probably here, let's go output. Alright, yeah, okay, and I think what I might say is, you know, like 4 videos found, or yeah, 4 matches found. So let's say that, let's say, right, none matches, yeah, okay, alright, okay, let's say results were found. Right, and then let's say here, so this is going to be the video, yeah, the video index. Right, here is going to be 1, and I think what I'm going to have, let's have, yeah, okay, right, so let's have the year inside the brackets, because I think that's what they often do for videos, right, they, yeah, they kind of have the year inside brackets like that. Right, let's say, yeah, was released, right, was released on, and right, so here then it's going to be, yeah, okay, this is going to be the storage medium, like, you know, DVD or something. Right, and then we can go, yeah, okay, right, let's say, yeah, and has the storage code. And then, well, that's going to be results, right, video index, and yeah, let's just go 4 like that. And then I think if we go next video index, yeah, that should be fine. Yes, output the results. Yeah, if the video is not found, output suitable message. Yeah, the system returns to the menu after completing the input or output. Yeah, until the user chooses to stop. Right. Yeah. Okay. And of course, it's going to do that because if we see here, well, it's going to call the procedure. Right. Of course, yeah. Once the procedure is finished, well, then of course it's just going to get to the end of the case, and then of course, yeah, it's just going to, you know, do the loop again, right, until they enter 3. Right. So yeah. Okay. Hopefully, I've not made a mistake there. Let's try and run this, see if it works. Alright, so let's go add new video. Right, what video? I don't know, I think Avatar was one of the first ones they had. Right, video format, let's go DVD, video year, I don't know, is it like 2008 or something? I don't know, let's go like AB123. Right, okay, yeah, let's go another video, and let's also go Avatar again. Right, let's go, I don't know, like digital, right, download. Right, let's say again like 2008, and I don't know, let's go D, like 456. Okay, and I think, yeah, alright, let's do one more. Let's go like Interstellar. Right, video format, what they have, Blu-ray. Video year, I'm not sure, I don't know, maybe 20, like let's say 2014. Right, video storage code, I don't know, let's say, I don't know, yeah, like yeah, I don't know, like FG789. Right, okay, so here, let's go no for another video. Right, then, yeah, here, let's try searching. So if we search Avatar, and then hopefully we're going to get 2 results. So yeah, let's see. Right, okay, so enter the name. Yeah, okay, right, 2 results were found, Avatar. So Avatar DVD, yeah, Avatar digital, right, again 2008. Right, yeah, let's try searching one that doesn't exist. Right, so what's the movie that doesn't exist? Let's go Back to the Future. Yeah, I think that's like the 40-year anniversary I saw the other day. Yeah, okay, right, no videos found with the name Back to the Future. Right, and yeah, okay, here then let's try exit, and yeah, okay, right here it just says goodbye. Right, so that seems to be working. Yeah, okay, now again, right, what I said is that if you don't want to have to type out, you know, like loads of test data, of course you can just use this test data that's been generated here. So let me just demonstrate how to do that. Right, I'm just going to uncomment. Right, and the way you uncomment, you just select, well, yeah, okay, select everything you want to comment or uncomment. Right, then if you just press control and then slash, alright, so that's going to be used either to comment, right, or to uncomment, right, just to toggle between them. Right, and then I guess if we go down, yeah, okay, although the thing is here, of course, we need to set the num videos to be 100 in this case, because yeah, this is assuming that you've, I don't know, already run the program, like, and inserted 100 videos. Yeah, alright, okay, yeah, and I guess in that case we would also just have to kind of remove that. Okay, yeah, so again, just for testing, right? So here, let's go search video, and yeah, what videos does it have? Yeah, I don't know, like Finding Nemo. Alright, so I'm trying to find one that has like many different, yeah, I guess, like many times. Alright, so I think here they also had Interstellar, actually. Okay, right, so Interstellar, they just have 2, so let's try that again. And then, yeah, obviously 2 results were found, right, that seems to work, and again, let's just, yeah, exit. Alright, yeah, okay, so again, that's how you can just use this data, yeah, if you just want to test it. Alright, so I think what we need to do now then, we just need to add the comments, and of course this is quite a lot here, yeah, because there's actually a lot of code for this question. Right, so I think for this one, let's say maybe stores, stores the current number of videos, right, slash, I don't know, yeah, can be used to determine what the next video's insert position, right, yeah, into the array. Yeah, I mean that's quite long, but again, it's, I mean, hopefully that makes sense. Right, so here we're just going to say keep looping until they like choose not to exit. Yeah, okay, let's say, I don't know, keep looping, right, until user chooses, yeah, to exit. Right here, I guess we can just do, I know what, show user menu. Right, let's say here, so okay, yeah, all right, let's say range check. Right, validate, yeah, validate user, or okay, all right, yeah, let's say validate menu choice. Right, is between 1 and 3 inclusive. Right, so yeah, okay, right, so I think here this is fairly obvious. We can say, I don't know, like, yeah, call procedures. Right, let's say call relevant procedure. Right, based on user's menu choice. Yeah, I guess that's fine. I mean, obviously here we kind of said that. I mean, I think goodbye we don't really need to do. Right, so I think here, I mean, I don't know, like, okay, yeah, so maybe we can just have a simple comment for this. Although, to be honest, add new video is quite descriptive anyway. So let's say maybe, right, allow, yeah, let's say, right, allows the user, right, to enter 1 or more videos. Yeah, I guess, yeah, that's kind of all it's doing, right? It's not really doing anything else. Yeah, all right, and okay, yeah, let's say here then, well, let's say, okay, yeah, all right, okay, let's say allows, right, user to enter videos, right, until they choose not to. Yeah, I think that's okay. Right, and then, yeah, so I guess here I search video. So actually this one is a bit more complex. I guess we would say like copies the matched videos into the results array, and then I guess outputs, I guess outputs those search results. Yeah, alright, let's say searches video array. Alright, let's say copies matches, right, let's say into results array. Alright, and I think, yeah, since this is obviously the name, right, they've given it uppercase, so let's just be consistent. Right, copies matches into results array, yeah, and outputs, right, those results. Right, let's say, yeah, or error message, right, if no videos, right, if no videos were found. Yeah, I think that's fine. Right, so here we can just say, alright, let's say, yeah, reinitialize, reinitializing the results array. Let's say, yeah, 2 empty strings. Right, okay, so this one, the number of matches, what this is used to determine the next position to insert the copied kind of video into the results array, or yeah, the found video into the results array. Let's say something like that, right, so used to, I guess determine, let's say the position, right, of, yeah, okay, yeah, let's say the position, right, to copy the video, or yeah, I guess the found video, right, into the results array. Yeah, I think that's fine, right? And then this one, so this loop, right? So okay, right. So here then, this is copying, right? Let's say copy, yeah, copy video, yeah, okay, copy video data, right, with same name into results array. Yeah, and alright, okay, and again, yeah, okay. So even though we're saying video is just like the noun, I guess we can say, you know, obviously video of a big V, just to, yeah, just to sort of, you know, show that it's the array. Right, okay, and then here I guess, I don't know, yeah, output, right, output error message, right, or list of all videos. Right, output, yeah, error message, right, if no videos were found, right, or I guess, yeah, list, right, of all the found videos, yeah, from the search. Yeah, I think something like that is fine. Alright, and then yeah, probably here we can just have one more. So let's say, yeah, loop. Okay, yeah, alright, let's say loop through, right, all the found videos, right, and output them. Yeah, I think that's fine. Alright, yeah, okay, and to be honest, like, if you wanted, I guess you could also have the number, right, so in like search result 1, search result 2. So if you want to do that, you go, let's say video, right, video index. Right, then I guess you would want to have, I don't know, some like, yeah, some space or something. Yeah, okay, so possibly you would do something like this, where, okay, yeah, okay, maybe you'd have some hyphen, it's like hyphen, obviously, like, for example, 1, right, then space, and of course, yeah, just the sort of video name there, right, and I guess have the comma just separating that. Alright, anyway guys, yeah, I think that's the end of this video then. As always, I mean, hopefully that makes sense, right, hopefully it was useful. Any questions, ask in the comments, and I'll see you again in the next video.